Most people don't fail because they never start. They fail because they always start and never finish. And here's what nobody is telling you. That pattern is not a laziness problem. It is not a discipline problem. It is a psychological trap wired deep inside your brain, and until you understand how it works, you will keep repeating it every single time. Stay with me, because what you are about to hear could be the thing that finally changes everything. There's something intoxicating about starting something new. A new business idea, a new fitness goal, a new creative project. The moment you decide to begin, your brain releases a surge of dopamine, the same chemical that fires when you eat something delicious or win a prize. Your mind doesn't know the difference between doing something and imagining doing it. So just by starting, you feel a rush of excitement, optimism, and possibility. Psychologists call this the fresh start effect. The blank page feels full of potential. The empty gym feels like a place where a new version of you is about to be born. Your brain tricks you into feeling like you have already made progress simply because you showed up at the beginning. But then something shifts. The novelty wears off. The dopamine fades. And suddenly the thing you were so excited about starts to feel like work, like a burden, like something you have to do rather than something you want to do. Think about Marcus, a graphic designer from Manchester. He started building his freelance portfolio website 4 times over 2 years. Every time he felt unstoppable in week 1. By week 3, the excitement was gone. He'd convince himself the idea needed tweaking. He'd say he needed to research more. He'd start a new project instead and feel that rush all over again. He wasn't lazy. He was addicted to beginnings. And this is the first truth you need to understand. Your brain is designed to love starting. It is not automatically designed to love finishing. Finishing is uncomfortable. Finishing means you can be judged. Finishing means the dream becomes real, and real things can fail. So you stay in the beginning forever, because there nothing can go wrong. Now let's go deeper, because there's something even more powerful behind this pattern than dopamine. Something most people never talk about because it's uncomfortable to admit. It's fear. Not the fear of failing. Not exactly. It's the fear of finishing and still not being enough. See, as long as a project is unfinished, it holds infinite potential. It could become the best thing you ever made. The business could become $1 million company. The book could change lives. The unfinished thing is protected by possibility. But the moment you complete it, the moment you ship it, launch it, submit it, release it, it becomes real. And real things get measured. Real things get criticized. Real things sometimes fall short of the enormous vision you had in your head at the beginning. Psychologists call this the completion threat. The human mind sometimes experiences finishing a big goal as a form of exposure, because finishing removes the comfortable excuse of "I'm still working on it." Let me tell you about Priya, a 32-year-old woman from Toronto with a passion for writing. For 3 years, she told her friends she was writing a novel. People admired her. They asked about it at dinners. They called her the writer. And she loved that identity. But deep down, she had already written 80% of the book. She kept revising the early chapters. She kept saying she wasn't ready. She kept finding reasons to not type those final pages. Because Priya knew something unconsciously that she couldn't say out loud. As long as the novel was unfinished, she was still a person writing a great book. The moment she finished it, she would just be a person who wrote a book. And what if nobody liked it? What if the real thing didn't match the dream? One evening, she sat down, opened her laptop, and made herself a single promise. I am not writing for the world tonight. I am finishing this for myself. 6 weeks later, the book was done. This is the second truth. You are not afraid of failing. You are afraid of finishing and being seen. And that fear, that quiet, invisible fear, is the real reason your drawer is full of half-built ideas. So what separates the people who finish from the people who don't? It is not talent. It is not luck. It is not even intelligence. It is a specific relationship with discomfort. People who consistently finish what they start have learned one critical thing. The middle of any journey is supposed to feel terrible. They don't interpret that terrible feeling as a sign to stop. They interpret it as a sign that they are right on track. In psychology, this is called the dip, a concept made famous by Seth Godin. Every meaningful pursuit has a dip, a valley of frustration that separates the people who are just playing from the people who are serious. Most people quit inside the dip. The rare few who keep going emerge on the other side. Not just with a finished product, but with a new identity. The identity of someone who finishes. Consider the story of James Dyson, the British inventor. Before he created the vacuum cleaner that made him a household name, he built 5,126 prototypes that failed. Not 10, not 50. 5,126 failures. He has said that each failure taught him something. Each broken model was not a sign to quit. It was data. It was progress disguised as disappointment. What Dyson had was not superhuman willpower. He had a mental model that most people lack. He understood that finishing is a skill, not a trait. It is built through repetition, through choosing again and again to return to the thing you want to abandon. He also used something researchers call completion momentum. When you finish small things consistently, a workout, a chapter, a promise to yourself, your brain begins to build a new self-image. You stop being someone who tries things. You become someone who completes things. And that identity becomes its own fuel. The third truth: finishing is not about the destination. It is about who you become in the process of not quitting. Now, here is the part nobody talks about, the uncomfortable truth sitting underneath all of this. Most people are not waiting for the right time. They are not waiting for the right resources. They are not waiting for permission. They are waiting to feel ready. And here is what years of psychological research tells us. Readiness is a feeling, and feelings follow action, not the other way around. You will never feel fully ready to finish the thing. Not today. Not next month. Not when you have more money, more time, or more confidence. The feeling of readiness is the reward for doing the work, not the condition you need before you begin. The people who change their lives, build their empires, write their books, start their businesses, they all have one thing in common. They learned to move before they felt ready. They committed to the process before they could see the outcome. And there's a deeply powerful shift that happens the moment you decide to stop treating your unfinished things as failures and start treating them as invitations. An invitation to face fear, an invitation to build discipline, an invitation to meet the version of yourself that lives on the other side of the hard part. Every unfinished thing in your life is not evidence of who you are. It is a question asking you, are you ready to become someone who follows through? The answer to that question, made through action, not words, is what determines the trajectory of your entire life. Here is what I want you to take away from everything you just heard. Starting is easy, staying is hard, finishing is rare. And because finishing is rare, it is powerful. Every time you complete something you started, you send a message to your own mind. A message that says, I am the kind of person who keeps their word, especially to myself. That message compounds over time. It builds identity, it builds trust, and it builds the kind of internal confidence that no course, no mentor, and no motivational speech can give you, because it is earned. You don't need a perfect plan, you don't need a perfect moment. You need the courage to return one more time to the thing you left behind. That half-written chapter, that unfinished project, that goal you started in January and quietly shelved by March. Go back to it. Not because it will be easy, but because finishing it, even imperfectly, will change how you see yourself forever. The most powerful investment you will ever make is not in a stock, not in a property, not in a business. It is in the habit of finishing what you start. Because the world doesn't reward the best ideas.